If someone tries to embarrass you at work, it's not just rude, it's often a power play. And here's the kicker, they're often projecting their own insecurities onto you. In this video, I'll show you the psychology behind why people publicly humiliate others, how projection works, and I'll give you 20 professional comebacks you can use to instantly shut it down and protect your reputation. I'm Jo Banks. I spent 20 years in HR before setting up my own coaching practice 16 years ago. And since then, I've helped tens of thousands of people to live happier, healthier lives. And I'm sharing what I know. Public humiliation in the workplace is one of the most uncomfortable and potentially damaging experiences you can face. Whether it's a snide comment in a meeting, a sarcastic remark in front of clients, or a joke at your expense. These moments can knock your confidence and leave you feeling blindsided. The good news? You can handle it in a way that protects your reputation, dignity, and career. So let's look first at why people try to publicly humiliate you at work. Public humiliation is rarely about you personally, even though it feels personal. It's almost always about the other person's insecurities, power plays, or unresolved issues. Understanding these drivers is the first step in learning how to respond to public humiliation effectively. Here are the most common psychological drivers. Firstly, number one, we have insecurity and imposter syndrome. People who doubt their own competence sometimes try to make others look small so they feel bigger. It's what I say in so many of my videos. People build themselves up by putting other people down. Humiliating you in front of others is a way of signaling, I'm in control, even when they're not. Number two, projection psychology. Projection is when somebody takes the qualities, flaws, or feelings they don't like in themselves and attribute them to someone else. For example, if they feel incompetent, they might accuse you of being unprepared or not knowing your stuff. It's essentially a way to offload their own discomfort. I have an entire video on projection at work that explains how it works in detail and why it's so common in many workplaces. Many people have found that video eye-opening because it changes how you interpret situations. Once you realize that they're actually talking about themselves, it's easier not to take it personally. Number three, need for dominance. Some people use embarrassment as a dominance display, especially in hierarchical workplaces. They believe that undermining you increases their authority. Number four, deflection. If they're under pressure, they might shift the focus onto you to draw attention away from their own mistakes or shortcomings. Number five, passive aggressive behavior. Instead of addressing it directly, they use public jokes or comments to express their frustration or resentment indirectly. Number six, learned behavior. In some toxic workplaces, belittling others is normalized. They've seen it done and they think it's acceptable. Examples of public humiliation in the workplace. Here are a few scenarios that you might recognize. Number one, in a meeting, you might hear something like, well, that's one way to do it, with a side smirk after you've presented your idea. Number two, during a presentation, you might be interrupted with, are you sure that's right? In a mocking tone. Scenario three, in front of clients, you might hear something like, oh, she's only new here, bless her, she's still learning, when you've actually been in the industry for 15 years. Scenario number four, in a group email, copying multiple people into a message, highlighting a small error that you made rather than speaking to you about it privately. Why public humiliation hurts so much. Public humiliation triggers the brain's social pain response, which is processed in the same area as physical pain. Your fight, flight, freeze, stress response can kick in, making it hard to think clearly in the moment because we know, if you've watched my other videos, that when we're very stressed, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that's responsible for critical thinking, analysing, decision making, that literally goes offline, where your amygdala takes over. Your amygdala is responsible for your fight, flight, freeze. And that's why we can't think straight when we're very stressed. And that's why many people only think of a great comeback hours later. This is a phenomenon known as esprit d'escalier. I hope I've said that right. My French is terrible. It's a French expression that literally means the spirit of the staircase. It describes that frustrating moment when you think of a perfect reply, witty comeback, or clever idea, but only after the opportunity has passed. The idea is that you've already left the conversation walking down the stairs, hence the staircase, when the brilliant thought finally comes to you. It's often used to capture that mix of regret and annoyance at not having thought of it in the moment. When projection is at play, it can be even more frustrating because it feels so unjust. They're accusing you of something you know deep down is actually their issue. That's why understanding projection psychology is such a powerful tool for staying calm. How to respond to public humiliation professionally. Number one, pause and breathe. Before reacting, take a slow breath. This short circuit helps your brain to switch from emotional reactivity to more logical thinking. Number two, assess intent. Is the comment clumsy but harmless, or a deliberate attempt to undermine you? Not all awkward moments require a full confrontation. Number three, stay calm and neutral. A calm, measured response makes you look confident and in control, which undermines their attempt to embarrass you. Number four, respond, don't react. The difference is subtle but important. Reacting is emotional and comes from the amygdala and innate, whereas responding is intentional, strategic, and comes from your prefrontal cortex. Number five, take it offline when necessary. If the situation escalates or is too sensitive for public resolution, address it privately. This also reduces the risk of fueling further drama. 20 professional comebacks for workplace humiliation. Below are 10 gentle, diplomatic, and 10 firmer responses that you can use depending on the situation and your relationship with the person. Let's start with the gentle, diplomatic comebacks. Number one, that's an interesting perspective. Could you explain what you mean? Number two, I think there might be some context missing. Let me fill in the gaps. Number three, I'm sure you didn't mean that to come across as it did. Do you want to start again? Number four, let's stick to the facts so that we can move forward. Number five, thanks for your input. I'll take that on board, said with calm, steady eye contact. Number six, I see we have different views on this, and that's okay. Number seven, well, that's one way of looking at it. Here's another. Number eight, can we keep this constructive? I think it'll help us get further. Number nine, I appreciate you raising that. Perhaps we could explore it in more detail later. Number 10, let's focus on the solution rather than the problem. Now on to the more firm comebacks, spicier comebacks if you like. Number one, I'd appreciate it if you could raise concerns with me privately. Number two, I don't think this is the right time or place for that. Number three, that comment feels inappropriate for this setting. Number four, I value professionalism. Can we keep our discussion in that spirit? Number five, I'm happy to discuss this with you later, but I won't engage like this in public. Number six, I'd like to stay on topic. Let's get back to the agenda. Number 7, if there's an issue, let's address it respectfully. Number 8, your tone suggests frustration. Can we talk about what's really going on here? Number 9, let's keep our feedback about work and not people or not personal. Number 10, I'm confident in the work I've done. Let's move forward. As we often know the people doing the humiliation and how they're likely to do it, I recommend practicing a few of these comebacks or write some of your own so that they're easier to use when you're feeling under attack. If you want more comebacks, I'm going to be doing an entire video giving you a toolkit on it. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Here's a bonus strategy: the reverse spotlight. One of the most effective ways to handle public humiliation in the workplace is to calmly turn the spotlight back to the person making the remark, but without being aggressive. For example, then they might say, "Wow, that's a bold choice." You reply, "Interesting you think so. Could you share why?" This forces them to explain themselves, which can reveal that their comment was baseless or purely personal. Often, if projection is at play, their explanation will unintentionally highlight the very trait they were accusing you of, which can be quite revealing for everyone listening. It's a subtle way of showing the room what's really going on without you having to call it out directly. There is one other tool that I use quite frequently and recommend to my clients to use, is that when somebody says something that humiliates you or is rude or whatever it is that's negative that makes you feel icky, is just do not respond, look them square in the eye for a good 5 seconds. Don't say anything. And you might say something when you've had the 5 seconds. Interesting. Do you want to explain that further? That's a really good one. It goes back to what we've just said, is it makes them explain their thought processes, and it can be very uncomfortable for them. It's a brilliant tool. It just shows that person that you've got them, that you recognize what they're trying to do. What to do after the incident or incidents. Number 1, document what happened. This is so important, especially if it's part of a pattern, stuff that you've seen happen repeatedly. Number 2, speak privately. Calmly explain to the person how the comment came across and request that it doesn't happen again. Number 3, escalate if needed. If it's repeated behaviour and impacting your work, involve HR or a more senior manager. Number 4, do not dwell. Staying in a loop of anger or sadness or frustration gives them more power than they deserve. If you want more information on what to do if you think you're being bullied, I've done an entire video on that. I'll leave the link below. The wrap up. Public humiliation in the workplace is never okay, but it's surprisingly common. Understanding the psychology behind it, especially projection at work, helps you realise it's about the other person's issues, not your worth. By preparing diplomatic and firm professional comebacks in advance and practicing them, you can protect your confidence and professional image. And you might even shut down the behaviour entirely. Bullies thrive where they're not challenged. Remember, the way you handle these moments says far more about your leadership and professionalism than the fact that it happened at all. If you want to dive deeper into projection psychology, again, watch my video on the topic. It could completely change how you see situations like this. What next? If you have anything you'd like to add to today's video, or you have any topics that you'd like me to cover in future, it'd be really helpful if you would let me know that. Leave them in the comments section below. I read and respond to everything and really love interacting with you all. If you enjoyed this video, can I ask a little favour? Please support this channel with a like, comment, subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. The algorithms are ruthless at the moment, so Without that interaction, really useful videos go nowhere. You don't have to have a Google account either. You can sign up for a YouTube account, which is completely free using your normal email address, which will allow you to like and comment and share. It really does make a massive difference in helping me grow this channel. Finally, thank you to everybody who stays until the very end, and thanks so much for your support. It really means the world to me. Thank you.